Hey, what's up, everyone? I wanted to talk to you about something that nobody's really talking about right now, but what I believe to be one of the biggest breakthroughs in cognitive science mixed with AI integrations. And this is, like I said, this is something that to me is going to be a complete game changer when it comes to the engineering and development processes of personalized AGI systems and AI systems, and it's going to revolutionize everything. In fact, this company I'm going to be talking about, Sens AI, they've got videos dating back 5 years, and I think their YouTube channel only has like 700 people subscribe to it. Yeah, so it's just this or 500 something people. And guys, when we dive into this, I'm going. I trust that you're going to see what I'm seeing in it and why it's such going to be so. Why I believe it's going to be such a game changer. Before we do, I want to talk to you about why this is very important to discuss. If you've been following along with the work on that I've been working on with EdenAGI, the development processes I'm working on, and all this kind of stuff, you will know you will recognize very quickly that it's very complicated. There's a lot of complication involved with this system. The engineering process that go into the development of the AGI system, especially, are insane. And remember, what we're trying to achieve here is a personalized, individually owned AI system that anyone on the planet who can read and write will be able to not only control, but also build from the ground up. In order to do that, we have to use a process called conversational coding. And what that means is we are not ourselves coding the program. We're using conversation to code our AI, to code the system, and letting the system code itself. Now, this is not an easy process. It's cognitively, to build this system, it requires a lot of brain power, a lot of, to be honest with you, is way over my head in complication. Because when we get into coding and all this kind of stuff, it gets very complicated very fast. We have five major core focuses. Each one of them in their own right would be worthy of an entire lifetimes of work that I have to pull together in a very short amount of time to try to make all work together, okay, to make this process happen. First and foremost, you see on the screen here, this is our engineering process that we go through. This is the engineering process that I've developed over time, and I've done other videos to explain the breakdown. I'm not going to go through all of it now, but this is the engineering process that we go through. This is all of this is engineered and developed as a collaboration between my human mind and AI systems. Now, as I've described in other videos, we're essentially, as we are developing this system, we're essentially connecting lines. We're like the old school phone operators, connecting physical lines so that two individuals can speak. And that's a lot of what we're doing in this engineering process. We are going to be starting over here with the human input. This is a process I've developed myself. This is the Bayesian heuristic cognitive alignment model that I use to synthesize and bring in multiple human inputs and automatically moderate those human inputs into any changes in the code system. We have our synthesizing model that we use for pulling in inputs from multiple auto GPT and AI systems, and we include ways to restore systems from system failures and restarts, all this kind of stuff. All of these things in themselves, huge amount of complication. There's a lot of work that goes into this, and if you've been following my work, you know I haven't worked on Eden in a while on video, because there's a bunch of other things that I have to do in order to get myself to a level to move to the next stage with this development. I've actually had to tell the AI systems to slow down and to lower the complexity of their language and what they're saying to each other, so that way I can continue being an intermediary. Because even being in between, it can get very complicated very quick. Even if I'm not necessarily doing the work or the thinking, just connecting the systems can be very arduous and a very painstaking process. So The next thing we have to work on is we have to work on obviously automating all of this. While the work is being done by the AI systems, I still have to handle the lion's share of the connections. So the next thing I have to do is I have to develop systems to automate these connections. But the problem is automations are not enough to keep up with the workload. We have to go a step further. We have to integrate an autonomous automation system, an AI system, and that's where Leon comes in. Leon is a open source AI system that you install on your computer system, and it can do all kinds of things for you. I'm going to dive into that in a moment. But Leon itself comes out of the box and it has to be trained. We have to teach it. I have to learn its entire infrastructure, implement it and deploy it, and then begin to train it and give it new skill sets that I need to function for our system. Then, of course, none of this would be possible without ChatGPT. And as many of you know, ChatGPT now also has its own set of plugins, now over 120. I'm going to be doing deep dives into all of these plugins as well as part of the development process, learning the plugins, creating material plugins, and integrating the plugins into the system. And guys, this is moving so fast. You blink your eyes for 2 seconds and you're already behind. We can dive into a lot of these things. Even just as an example, Zapier integrates already out of the box with 5,000 apps. These are all integrations that we can use, but we have to know how to use them. We have to have a system that can integrate them. Eventually, your individualized Eden instance, or your AGI, whatever you prefer to call it, will be able to assimilate all this information, right? But I have to build the infrastructure for this to happen. We have to build the infrastructure for this to happen, and this is the hard part. Building the infrastructure, building a system that can then go and work autonomously on solving problems. So plugins for not only we need to understand GPT and power prompting, mission prompting. We need to work with templates. This is just a few of my prompt templates that I use. I can use these for all types of specific purpose use cases, but these are engineered templates I use for specific use cases. As part of the engineering process, we have to understand those. And on top of that, we have to also understand how to work with, set up, customize, and deploy auto GPT systems to do the lion's share of the actual work that needs to be done for the system. Okay, so Auto GPT, if you think about it, serves as almost as the muscle cells in the body. They each have very specific purposes, and they do those purposes very well. But like a muscle cell is not going to make a very good tooth cell. Same thing with Auto GPT. So we have to be able to create a system that autonomously distributes tasks over a larger network with AutoGPT systems. So we have to understand AutoGPT. We have to understand all the AutoGPT plugins. We have to build a system that can understand these systems as they grow exponentially and grow with them, and an autonomous system as well. This is what Leon will be helping with as well. Then now we throw in, on top of all of this, we throw in the need for plugins for Leon, for AutoGPT, for GPT, but then we also have to throw in the mental understanding of these concepts, and I have to increase my awareness and knowledge of how these systems operate. So I've been working on a pretty detailed plan of action for developing my own education plan for this. And you can actually view my educational path that I'm on personally by going to projecteden.online, clicking on educational path, and you can see my current path that I have to take in order to get to a certain level of knowledge to be able to implement these ideas and make everything work. As you can see, this is a very intense learning path I'm on. It constitutes hundreds upon hundreds of hours of learning and education and projects I'm going to be doing on this channel and sharing with you as I go through them. But you can see this is a lot to do in one lifetime. And you know, truth be told is you don't ever know how much time you have left. I do have a vision for Eden to a very, very vast vision, which you can read about on Project Eden.online. That is audacious. It's extreme. It is a moonshot in many ways. This project, but it's something I believe in, and it's something I'm committed to seeing to success. Uh, but as you can see, there's a lot to learn here. There's a lot to go over, and the problem is I find myself constantly hitting this roadblock where I can't. I need to take breaks. I need to get some sleep. I have to take time to digest information. It takes a lot of organization, a lot of mental focus to keep all these different moving parts organized. Some of you may relate. I say all that to say, as a long introduction, because you guys may relate to this. How do you do it? How can we do all these things and do them in an effective fashion? Well, you can learn how to learn better. You can actually improve your mental thoughts. You can actually improve your mental focus by meditating, by learning how to think a little differently about things, open your mind. But there are limitations to that. Well, this is where Sens AI comes into play. Sens AI is let's just go through it. It says, awaken your genius, your brain sharper, faster, better. So the idea of reprogramming our brains and changing how we think, obviously there's truth to that, right? But up until now, the idea of making major improvements on the way you think and your cognitive abilities has kind of been science fiction. Okay, we didn't really have the technology. We have had technology to read information, to learn a little bit, but our brains operate at such a high frequency. Being able to process this information until now has basically been impossible. Well, now because of recent AI breakthroughs, this is not only possible, but it's actually happening now. It has been shown now that AI can read the thoughts of humans. It can actually take the brain activity that it picks up from your scans. It can actually take that brain activity and turn it into actual images in the mind. And I think this was the video I watched. I'll just show you a little snippet of it. But this video actually goes into this idea of AI being able to read your thoughts. Now, I'm not going to go into too much. I'm not going to play that video because it's got commercials on right now. I don't want to waste any time with it. But if you want to go check out those videos, you can see where scientists actually were able to successfully put somebody in an MRI machine, show them images, and have AI monitor their brain and try to recreate those images, and it worked. AI has allowed us for the first time to be able to read the thoughts of a brain. Why is that important? It's important because if you can decode a wave and read a wave or read information, if you can do that, that means you have successfully been able to, on some level, decode that wave or decode that output. And if you can decode that output and you can read it, then conceivably you will also be able to write back to that system as well by manipulating the wave that you're receiving. Well, this is what Sens AI has essentially been able to figure out how to do, at least according to what they claim. Now, this project is early stage. This is a groundbreaking video I'm doing. Nobody's talking about this yet, pretty much at all. But this is I believe that this is about to change the world in a lot of aspects. Why do I believe that? Because there are people all over the world who are working on complex problems regarding AI systems, how to deal with them, how to work them. But all of us run into the same problem. Our brains become clogged, they become overwhelmed, and we have to take breaks, we have to slow down. But what if it were possible to expand your capacity for thinking? What if it were possible to think better? Well, this is what Sens AI is basically here to do. It's one of the world's most advanced brain training systems. The human brain and nervous system can be optimized, made to be fast, flexible, and responsive. How? Through tech-assisted brain training. These are cutting-edge neurotechnologies designed to help you create peak performance in the brain. Sens AI is the ultimate adaptive, high-fidelity brain training system, combining state-of-the-art neurofeedback with advanced light simulation technology and coherence training. Its programs allow you to train for an outcome that matters most to you. Sharper thinking, better. So, I haven't done a deep dive into this, but I am going to on this channel. I'm going to be doing several videos on Sens AI. Behind it, we're going to discuss the topics, maybe even have some guests and have some really cool discussions on this. But according to this, the technology behind Sens AI stands on the shoulders of decades of clinical work and research. We're offering you the best of both clinical and consumer worlds, consumer ease of use with high fidelity signals and clinically developed programs. This is a personal transformation technology for a regular non-techie to use at home. Okay, let's watch this video together.
In today's distracted digital age, we are challenged to focus and manage stress. This impacts all aspects of our lives and stops us from reaching our potential. At Sens AI, we harness neurotechnology to accelerate personal development. Brainwaves are electrical patterns made by brain cells when communicating with each other. These patterns can be measured in strength and speed using EEG sensors at specific locations on your head. Over the past 50 years, neuroscientists and clinicians have developed techniques to modulate brainwaves to improve brain function. Neurofeedback is one such technique which converts EEG data into audio and visual cues to guide users towards desired states of mind. Neurofeedback is a workout for your brain, and like a workout, it leads to long-term trait changes. Quality EEG feedback is critical to quality training. Sens AI sensor technology is the first to read clinical-grade signals in an consumer device. Transcranial photobiomodulation using infrared light has been a field of research and clinical work for the last 15 plus years. This light energy stimulates your brain cells and encourages blood flow and oxygen distribution. We combine transcranial photobiomodulation in our solution to improve neurofeedback training results. This also gives the immediate felt state change that helps keep Sens AI users motivated. Finally, we connect heart and mind. Research shows a direct connection between brainwave patterns and heart rate patterns. Sens AI uses heart rate variability training to guide users to personalized heart coherence. This induces a relaxed nervous system and brainwave pattern to boost training impact. MindSense is a world-first combination of these techniques, enabling Sens AI to offer quantified, accelerated, and personalized brain training in an easy-to-use consumer format for everyone's every day.
All right, so those are the claims, very bold claims that this product is making. Talking about brainwaves, neurofeedback, heart rate variability training, and I mean, guys, this quite possibly might be the most amazing thing that I've ever seen when it comes to this type of product. Now, obviously, Neuralink is going to take this to the next level, where you can directly implant brain systems into your computer systems into your brain directly. But if something like this could even give me like an extra 20 or 30% cognitive function, even 10% better cognitive function, it would have, I believe it would have a major impact on the outcome of the projects I'm working on, the writing styles I work on, the writing projects I work on, the video projects I work on, and Eden and all these different things. And I think it can make a tremendous difference. So I'm going to begin the process of doing a deep dive into Sens AI and talking more about it. My plan is to actually get a unit one as soon as I can and begin training on it and giving you guys feedback about it and helping you guys understand the pros and cons and how it works and talk to you about my experiences. And hopefully, if everything goes well with this, you'll begin to see a marked difference in the quality of work I put out, in my articles, the content I put out, the quality of video I put out, and the quality of information I provide. And I'm really looking forward to trying this product out, to working through it and seeing how it works. This is the very beginning of all these projects for me. I've never really done any of this kind of stuff before. So this is the very beginning of the journey. And I'm looking forward to seeing what possible outcomes can come from this and sharing that with all of you as I go through this. Go take a look at the website. I'll put a link to it in the description of this video. If you have any questions, reach out to me. We can talk more about this later on, but I'm going to cut this video off and let you guys and take some time and look at the research and the information yourself and decide for yourself how you want to apply it to your life. Thanks.